Your life as a Secret Service agent. Day 1. The application. You're 26 years old. You have a degree in criminal justice from a state university. You served 4 years in the Marine Corps, 2 tours in Afghanistan. You came home with a chest full of medals and a head full of nightmares. You're looking for purpose, for a mission that matters. You see the job posting, United States Secret Service, Special Agent. The requirements are brutal. Bachelor's degree, law enforcement or military experience, top secret security clearance, physical fitness standards that would break most people. Background investigations so thorough they'll interview people you went to high school with. The salary is $48,000 a year. That's less than you'd make as a corporate security guard. But this isn't about money, and this is about serving something bigger than yourself, protecting the most powerful person on earth, being willing to take a bullet for the President of the United States. You submit your application. 3 months later, you get the call. Month 1, Training Academy. You're at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Glencoe, Georgia. You and 47 other recruits, former military, former cops, federal agents from other agencies. Everyone here is already elite. Everyone here thinks they're the best. The Secret Service will break you down and rebuild you. Your day starts at 5 a.m., physical training. You run 5 miles, you do hundreds of push-ups, you practice hand-to-hand combat. You learn to fight in suits and dress shoes because that's what you'll be wearing when someone tries to kill the president. Then comes firearms training. You're already an expert marksman from the Marines, but the Secret Service standard is different. You need to hit a moving target at 50 yards, in the rain, in the dark, while running. While your heart is pounding at 180 beats per minute, you need to be able to draw your weapon and fire in 1.5 seconds. Every shot has to count because you might only get one. You learn emergency medicine, how to treat a gunshot wound, how to perform CPR, how to recognize the symptoms of nerve agent poisoning. Because if the president is attacked, you might be the only thing standing between him and death for the critical first minutes. You learn defensive driving, how to execute a J-turn at 60 miles per hour, how to ram through a roadblock, how to escape an ambush. You'll be driving the president's limousine, a 20,000-pound armored vehicle called the Beast. If something goes wrong, you need to get him out, fast, and you learn the mission. 0 fail. That's the Secret Service motto. There is no acceptable margin of error, no second chances. If you fail, the President of the United States dies, and the world changes forever. Out of 48 recruits in your class, 12 wash out. They couldn't handle the physical demands, the mental pressure, the knowledge that one mistake could alter the course of history. You graduate. You're a special agent now, but you're not protecting the president yet. You have to earn that. Year 1, Field Office. You're assigned to the Los Angeles Field Office. Your job is financial crimes investigation, money laundering, counterfeit currency, credit card fraud. This isn't what you signed up for. You wanted to protect the president. Instead, you're chasing white-collar criminals. But this is how the Secret Service works. Every agent starts in financial crimes. You need to prove yourself. Show that you can handle pressure, follow leads, build cases, work 80-hour weeks without complaint. You're making $52,000 a year now, barely enough to afford rent in LA. You're working fraud cases during the day and pulling security shifts at night, guarding foreign dignitaries visiting the city, standing outside hotel rooms for 12 hours straight, watching, waiting, alert. You miss your girlfriend's birthday because you're on a stakeout. You miss Thanksgiving because you're guarding a Saudi prince. You miss your sister's wedding because the vice president is visiting Los Angeles and they need extra bodies. Your relationships are falling apart. Your girlfriend leaves you. She says you're married to the job. She's right, but you can't stop because you're building towards something. Every shift, every case, every sacrifice, it's all leading somewhere. And then you get the call. Year 2, Presidential Protection Division. You've been selected for the Presidential Protection Division. You're going to Washington, D.C. You're going to the White House. This is what you've been training for. Your salary jumps to $65,000, but you'll be working 70-hour weeks, traveling constantly, moving wherever the president moves. Your life is no longer your own. You start on the outer perimeter, the uniformed division. You stand at checkpoints. You check IDs. You operate magnetometers. You watch crowds, looking for the one person who doesn't belong. The one hand reaching into a jacket. The one face that's too focused, too calm. The Secret Service has a term for potential assassins, jackals, and they're everywhere. The service tracks about 10,000 serious threats per year. People who've made credible threats against the president. People with the means and motivation to act. You learn their patterns. Most jackals strike when the president is arriving at or leaving an event. When he's moving from secure location to secure location. Those transition moments. That's when he's vulnerable. You learn the protocols. Advanced teams go to every location 10 days before the president arrives, sometimes months before for major events. They assess every entry point, every window, every rooftop within 1,000 yards. They work with local law enforcement. They install metal detectors. They map escape routes. You learn about the layers of protection, the counter-assault team, heavily armed agents in black tactical gear. They're the hammer. If someone attacks, CAT responds with overwhelming force. The counter-sniper team. Agents positioned on rooftops with .300 Winchester Magnum rifles. Range, 1,000 yards. They can drop a threat before he pulls the trigger. The K9 unit. Dogs trained to detect explosives, biological weapons, chemical agents. The Airspace Security Branch. Monitoring every aircraft within 30 miles of the president. Ready to scramble fighter jets or deploy surface-to-air missiles if needed. The Emergency Response Team. Paramedics and hazmat specialists. If the president is poisoned, shot, or exposed to a nerve agent, these are the people who'll save his life. They're called HAMMER, a hazardous agent mitigation and medical emergency response. All of this, all these people, all this technology, and you're just one small part of the machine. But you want more. You want to be close. You want to be on the personal detail. The agents who stand next to the president, the ones who would take the bullet. Year 3, the inner circle. You've proven yourself, reliable, disciplined, alert. You're selected for the Presidential Protective Detail, the inner circle. You'll be one of 6 agents assigned to protect the president at all times. You're making $75,000 now, but the job owns you completely. You travel with the president everywhere. You work 18-hour days. You're on call 24/7. You haven't had a real day off in 6 months. You learn the president's patterns, when he wakes up, what he eats, who he meets with, and where he goes. You study the people around him, staff, family, friends. Anyone with access could be a threat. Trust no one completely. You learn his protective formation, the diamond formation when he's walking. 4 agents surrounding him, 1 in front, 1 behind, 2 on the sides. If shots are fired, your job is simple. Cover and evacuate. Throw yourself between the president and the threat. Use your body as a shield. Get him to the armored limousine. Get him out. You practice this drill hundreds of times. In the White House, at Camp David, at Mar-a-Lago. Muscle memory, automatic response, no thinking, just reaction. Because if the moment comes, you'll have maybe 2 seconds to save his life. You think about history. November 22nd, 1963, Dallas, Texas. President John F. Kennedy is riding in a convertible through downtown Dallas. The route was published in newspapers. The buildings weren't inspected. The Secret Service detail was exhausted. Some agents had been out drinking until 5 a.m. the night before. At 12:30 p.m., shots ring out. Agent Clint Hill is assigned to protect Jackie Kennedy. He's following in the car behind. He hears the first shot. He runs toward the president's limousine, but he's too late. 3 shots, 6 seconds. President Kennedy is dead. Clint Hill blamed himself for the rest of his life. If I had reacted just a little bit quicker, he said decades later, I could have saved him. The Secret Service changed after Dallas. They went from 350 agents to over 7,000. From a bare-bones operation to the most sophisticated protective force on Earth. The mission became zero fail. Never again. But you also think about the close calls. March 30, 1981. President Ronald Reagan leaves the Washington Hilton. He's waving to the crowd. John Hinckley Jr. fires 6 shots in 1.7 seconds. One bullet hits Press Secretary James Brady in the head. One hits a DC police officer. One hits a Secret Service agent. The 6th bullet ricochets off the presidential limousine and hits Reagan in the chest. It misses his heart by 1 inch. Agent Jerry Parr throws Reagan into the limo. The driver races to George Washington University Hospital. Reagan survives. The Secret Service succeeded. Barely. You think about September 11th, 2001. President George W. Bush is in Florida, reading to 2nd graders. The first plane hits the World Trade Center, then the second. America is under attack. The Secret Service wants Bush evacuated immediately, but the White House press secretary doesn't want to scare the children or the public. Bush stays in that classroom for 7 agonizing minutes while the Secret Service stands by, helpless. That day changed everything. The Secret Service gained new authority, new resources, new responsibilities. They joined the Department of Homeland Security. They established the Airspace Security Branch to defend against aerial threats. They trained for terrorism, chemical weapons, biological attacks, dirty bombs. The threats kept multiplying, and the Secret Service had to evolve. You think about the scandals too. The Columbia prostitution scandal in 2012. Secret Service agents partying with prostitutes while they were supposed to be preparing for President Obama's visit. The White House fence jumpers. Multiple incidents where people climbed the fence and made it inside the building. Failures that should never have happened. You think about the recent attempts. Butler, Pennsylvania, 2024. A gunman positions himself on an unguarded roof 150 yards from Donald Trump. He fires. The bullet grazes Trump's ear, 1 inch to the right, and he's dead. 6 agents were suspended. The director resigned. Another failure. Another reminder that the mission is impossible. 0 fail in a world where there are infinite ways to fail. You know the statistics. Presidents face thousands of credible threats every year. Lone gunmen, terrorist cells, foreign agents, mentally ill individuals convinced they have a divine mission. The service stops most of them before they get close, but some slip through. And you know the cost. The divorce rate among Secret Service agents is over 70%. The job destroys marriages, destroys families. You're never home, always traveling, always on call. Your spouse learns to celebrate holidays alone. Your kids learn to stop asking when you'll be back. You're making $85,000 now. You've been promoted to senior special agent. But the money doesn't matter. You've missed birthdays, anniversaries, your father's funeral because the president was traveling and they needed you. You've sacrificed everything. Your relationships, your health, your peace of mind. You barely sleep. When you do, you have nightmares. Assassination scenarios playing out in your mind. What if someone attacks from the left? What if there are multiple shooters? What if the threat is already inside? You've gained 20 pounds from the stress. You drink too much. You're on medication for anxiety, for depression. The job is killing you slowly, but you can't leave because you believe in the mission. Protecting democracy, protecting the peaceful transfer of power, protecting the office of the presidency even when you disagree with the person holding it. You've served under 3 presidents now. Different parties, different policies, different personalities. But your job is the same. Keep them alive, at any cost. Year 5, the moment. It's a campaign rally, outdoor venue, 15,000 people. You've been on duty for 14 hours. The advance team swept the location, metal detectors at every entrance, counter-snipers positioned on surrounding buildings, counter-assault teams standing by, K9 units patrolling the perimeter. Everything looks good. The president takes the stage, and then you see it. A man in the crowd, 3rd row, left side. His hand is moving toward his jacket. Too fast, too deliberate. Your training kicks in. Automatic. You don't think, you move. You're running toward the president, shouting into your radio, "Gun! Gun! Gun!" The other agents react. Diamond formation collapsing around the president, Hands grabbing him, pulling him down, covering him. You hear the shot, feel the impact. Something hits you in the chest. It's like being hit with a sledgehammer. You're on the ground, can't breathe, can't move, but you're wearing body armor, level 3 vest, rated to stop a .44 Magnum round. The bullet didn't penetrate. You're alive. The counter-assault team has the shooter. He's on the ground, weapon secured. The president is being evacuated to the beast. The armored limousine is moving, racing to the nearest hospital as a precaution. You're being helped up. Paramedics checking you. Ribs are bruised, maybe cracked. But you're alive. The president is alive. Mission accomplished. 0 fail. But you know this isn't the end. Tomorrow there will be another event, another crowd, another potential threat, and you'll be there, watching, waiting, ready to take the bullet again. Year 6. The question. You're 32 years old. You've been a Secret Service agent for 6 years. You've protected 3 presidents. You've traveled to 47 countries. You've stood post in the rain, in the heat, in the freezing cold. You've missed your entire 20s, every birthday, every holiday, every moment that normal people take for granted. You're making $95,000 a year now. You could leave the service, go into private security, make twice as much, work half as hard, have a life again. But you think about that moment, the gunshot, the impact, and the knowledge that you were willing to die to protect someone else. Not because you liked them, not because you agreed with their politics, but because they represented something bigger. The office, the institution, democracy itself. You think about Clint Hill, running toward JFK's limousine, too late to save him, living with that failure for the rest of his life. You think about Jerry Parr, pushing Reagan into the limo, saving his life by inches. You think about all the agents who stood post, who took the bullet, who made the sacrifice, who did their job when it mattered most, and you realize you can't leave, because this is who you are now. This is your mission, your purpose, your life. You're a Secret Service agent, and you're willing to die for a person you've never met, for an ideal you believe in, for a country that might never know your name. That's the job. That's the sacrifice. That's the reality of your life as a Secret Service agent. The end. The legacy. Somewhere in America, a 26-year-old former Marine is filling out an application. Criminal justice degree, combat experience, looking for purpose. They'll call him in 3 months. They'll send him to Glinko. They'll break him down and rebuild him. They'll teach him to take a bullet for someone else. And the cycle continues, because the presidency must be protected. Democracy must survive. And someone has to be willing to make the sacrifice. 0 fail. That's the mission. That's the standard. That's the impossible goal that the Secret Service chases every single day. And sometimes they succeed. Sometimes they fail. But they never stop trying. Because the alternative is unthinkable.